Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room, it's pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I gave the word, he ate this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep it glocking with me, it was like a ball with us. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snakes, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse it, impossible. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody. See the name, make it to the featherweight. Niggas say they hard, but they sweeter than a devil cake. Hold up, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man in a beast, and a stepper in a and a kid, and a soldier, and a my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes. No break, baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy. I ain't gunshot. Fuck that little bitch, she a hooker. Niggas swear he the go. Bring her to the bushes. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? One West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon.
And I'm locked in the shit and I ain't leaving.
Ski matches from the room moon like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean and it's so fly.
Baby ride, it's why I left his ass
roadside.
He gon' die, skyscraper to a nose dive. 9mm plus P for the
4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep it glocking with me, it was like a ball with us. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? One West, go to war with everybody. Hey man, welcome to another edition of the Chronicles. I'm your host with the most, Captain Tazaryach of the ISUPK. Shout out to Kansas City. Beautiful city, man. Class yesterday was absolutely amazing. Shout out to everybody that came out. Hold on. Caller, hold on 1 second. Shout out to everybody that came out to the Kansas City class. Shout out to Malak, doing a beautiful job with them brothers. One thing I want to say, I want to make sure I say it. Quanaya, that brother made some damn chicken, some smoked chicken. They say Kansas City get busy with that grill. They say Kansas City get busy with the grill. And I couldn't argue with them, because when I say that chicken was the best thing made yesterday, that chicken was multi-belly, tutti frutti. That's from Money Talks, for those that don't know the movie Money Talk with Chris Tucker. That chicken was fire. So I just want to shout them brothers out, shout the sisters out. I'm going to go more intel today why the white man suffers from a mental disorder called Manifest Destiny. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing, Cap? My name is Dorian, calling from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm the brother that DM'd you.
Oh, okay, Most High Christ. That's what's up. What's going on, brother? This brother
Uh,
DM me. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm doing this live for him. What I mean by doing this live stream for him, I waited.
wow.
I waited until this time because this brother. So this brother messages me, tells me about his family, and he says he's on West Coast time. So I purposely
Yes, sir.
waited until this time so I can make sure he can make this live stream. And I'm
Thank you,
saying,
Cap. I appreciate that.
Most High in Christ, and I'm saying that because we do this for the Most High, of course, but I do this for y'all. Like I do these car chronicles because y'all be interactive. So anybody hits me up and say, "Hey, Cap, man, I want to be able to ask you this question on your next car chronicles," I'm going to do it when it best suits you because you reached out for it. So this car chronicles was done for you, all right?
Thank you, Cap, man.
That's
Thank
right.
you, Cap. Before I get into my reasoning for calling, Cap, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for the brothers in the ISUPK,
Damn right.
man. Which I do is amazing. I know you probably like, brother, why you not in class? Why
You
you
know
not
what's
in
coming.
school?
Listen. You know it's coming.
I'm knowing, Cap, but my living situation kind of like been up and down. I was in California, now I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a school in San Bernardino.
There's a school in Las Vegas too.
Yeah, before we end this call, I would like to get that number for
Oh,
sure.
say less. I got you covered.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so Cap, man, so here we go. I moved back to Las Vegas with my mom and my little sister. My little sister is 22 years old, and she dates outside her race. Cap, we all tribe of Judah. Start there. I'm gonna start there. We all tribe of Judah. And my little sister, she dates outside her race.
Okay.
And she dates white boys, Samoans, all that type of deal, right?
Right.
So last night we was hanging out, we was watching the football game, and we all chilling, me, my mom, my little sister, and my little sister was like, she dating some dude. He's not part of the 12 tribes. And she was like, I should invite so-and-so. And I'm like, and it kind of put me, I'm always cordial, but it kind of put me in the mood. I'm like, man, don't call that dude. Like, we chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, you got so much hate in your heart. You got to let that go. And I'm like, nah, like, the Bible say we shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And then here's where I need to get in school, because she was like, show me where that's at in the Bible. And I couldn't do it, Cap, because
You saying you couldn't show her in the Bible where you cannot date outside of your race?
Correct. Because
Okay.
I didn't know the chapter, scripture, verse, or nothing. I couldn't. All I'm going by is what I've learned.
What you've heard,
what
right? What you've heard, right?
Right. So I couldn't hit her with that. And so that's my reason for calling, Cap. Can you show me where where I can show her that, hey, we shouldn't do this, because in her mind she thinking I'm just full of hate, but no, I'm following the Most High.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you a gangster scripture first, right?
Okay.
The gangster scripture, and what you want to tell her, and this what I'm about to say applies to men and women.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Anybody that dates outside of their race, God considers them a whore.
Wow.
That they are absolutely a whore. If a brother dates a white woman, he's a whore. If he dates a Chinese woman, he's a whore. If a woman dates a white man, she's a whore. That Hawaiian, she's a whore. So every time they date outside of their race, they're a whore. Now I'm gonna give you the verse. This is Tobit. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. I'm gonna read.
Book of Tobit,
yep.
chapter
4.
12. I'm writing it down.
It's chapter 4.
Okay.
Verse 12.
Okay.
All right.
Verse 12.
Yep. I'm gonna read the verse. All right.
Okay.
This is the book of Tobit 4 and 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are all children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. That's one verse.
Okay.
All right. There's another verse. Before I get now, all of these, I'm going to get to the law, but I wanted to get this first. This is
Okay.
Proverbs chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 17. All right. Book of Proverbs 5 and 17. It says, wait. I'm sorry. I'm going to start at verse 5 and 15. Right?
Verse 5 and 15.
Yep.
Okay.
Proverbs chapter 5, verse 15. It says, drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Now, I remember when I was, hold on one second. Caller, hold on. So I remember when I used to first hear this, when it say drink waters out of thine own cistern, I thought it meant that you couldn't share your bottle or you couldn't share your drink with a brother. That's what I used to think, right? But that's not what this verse means. What this verse means, and because I'm going to keep reading it, it says, drink water out of thine own cistern and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad and rivers of waters in the street. Let them be only thine own and not strangers with thee. So the waters, to the caller that just joined, I hope your mic is muted because I didn't hear none of this noise until you joined. To the caller that joined, thank you. So now, when it says drink waters out of thine own cistern, I'm going to give you one more scripture before we come back to this. Go to the book of Jeremiah. Go to book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, so you can understand what it means by the water. So you're going to go to Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 13.
13. Okay,
right.
I'm writing all this down too.
Yeah, no problem. Perfect. So Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13 says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So in Proverbs, when it says, let drink out of thine own cistern, our waters and that cistern that it's talking about is obeying everything the Most High said. Because if we start drinking water out of somebody else's cistern, so that cistern is what? The philosophy of the Hawaiians, the philosophy of the white man, the philosophy of an African. That water, God calls that a broken cistern. Right? So now, we're gonna come right back to Proverbs 5. So when it says, drink the waters out of thine own cistern and waters out of thine own well, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad and the rivers of waters in the street. When you're drinking water, or when you're marrying or getting with a woman of your own tribe, or get with a man of your own tribe, and you're obeying the God of us, we don't have to worry about other waters being mixed with us. Now that water can now run through the rivers of the waters out in the streets, because we are following the same. Because the first thing your sister said was, get the hate out your heart. People think that telling us to stick to our own tribe is about hating other nations. And it's not about hating. When we talk about why we're not supposed to do it, it's not about hating the other nations. If the white man never enslaved the children of Israel, we still couldn't marry white women or white men.
Absolutely.
If the Africans never did it, we still couldn't marry African men or women, because there's a reason. That's why that's why the route I'm going is the route I'm going. Because as you can see, verse 18 says, let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. The wife of our youth, this is twofold. This is talking about the God we serve and the woman or tribe that we stay with. If we stay within that tribe, we stay with our woman. Now I'm going to get you to the law. Now go to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter.
Deuteronomy 7th chapter. Okay.
So now we're gonna start.
I'm not in my King James. I'm just writing it down so I can double back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. So in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, right? When you read the first 2 verses, it's going to mention nations that we went to war with. And then in verse 3, this is the law. And I'm going to show you how this law goes to everybody on the planet. All right. So this Deuteronomy 7 and 3. So now Deuteronomy 7 and 1, it talks about different nations we went to war with. Deuteronomy 7 and 3 says, neither shalt thou. Hold on. Is there somebody talking besides the brother I'm talking to? Hold on. Let me do this. All right. So okay. I hung up on that dude. I don't know why he's talking while I'm talking. So this is Deuteronomy 7 and 3. It says
7 and 3.
Yep. It says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they shall turn away thy son from following after me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. This is why we can't marry. We can't marry other nations because we will anger God. So you got to ask her, does she love God? If she says she loves God, then she can't marry other nations because God said so. Now, let's get an example. Go to 1 Kings 11 and 1.
Okay, you want me to grab it? Okay,
no, I'm going to read. No, I'm going to read all the verses. I'm going to read them all. Okay. I'm just telling you the verses that I'm going to. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to read every verse that I'm telling you about, I'm going to read. All right?
Can you repeat that?
This is 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, first verse.
11th chapter, first verse. Okay, got you.
And to the Ebionite brother that keeps calling, I'm not taking your call because you couldn't keep your mouth shut after I said keep your mouth shut. So I'm not taking your call today. 1 Kings 11 and 1, it says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites. Edomites are white people. Now, this is Solomon, one of the wisest men that ever exists. We just read his book of Proverbs that said to get a wife of thy youth, to not drink water out of their own cistern. But yet and still, he married strange women. Now, when you read Deuteronomy 7 and you read 1 Kings 11, you're going to see that there's nations mentioned in 1 Kings 11 that's not mentioned in Deuteronomy 7. This is how you know when that law was made not to marry outside of your race, it meant every nation. Because the very next verse, verse 2 says, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they would turn away your heart and go after their gods. Now, when you go into the white man philosophy, there's no law that says you can't marry outside of your race. When you go to the Hawaiians, there's no law that says that. When you go to Africans, there's no law that said that. But the God of Israel has a law that says you can't marry outside of your race. Now you just eliminated her saying you got hate in your heart. Because this ain't about hate. This is about obedience to God. So either you're obedient to God and will not marry a white woman or white man, or you hate God. And so you got to tell her, it's not me that has hate in my heart. You have hate in your heart for God. That's what you have to tell her. And you got to tell her every time you marry and that man you get is not a black man or not an Israelite man, you hate God. And you got to tell her God is going to punish you for that.
Cap, man, I can't argue with. I agree 1,000% with what you're saying, Cap. But she come up under my mom. You know, my mom's a Christian lady, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how she. You know, so and then, like I said, my sister's 22, so she's still everything mom says is 1,000% correct. But
and so your mother believes in Jesus, right?
Oh man, she loves Joel Osteen. Are you kidding
Got you.
me?
Go to Matthew.
Oh,
Go to Matthew chapter 5.
Matthew chapter 5.
And
Okay.
we're gonna start at verse 17.
Okay. Verse 17.
It says,
Okay.
this is Jesus' words. It said,
Chapter 5.
yeah.
Okay.
It says, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So, when God said you can't marry out of your race, Christ says he didn't come to break that law. He just said, think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets. So everything that the law says, Christ did not come to destroy it. You understand?
I do.
Now, it goes a little further. Let's read verse 19. I'm sorry, read verse 18. It says, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. And you got to tell her, the all fulfilled is Christ ruling. The all fulfilling is not Christ dying. So if Christ is not ruling, then that means that God's law is still here. So she can't even say, because she might say, well, when Christ died, he fulfilled it. No, that's not fulfilling. Christ ruling is fulfilling. And then verse 19.
She's not even going to say nothing like that.
Okay. But now we're going to read verse 19. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so, shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. And you got to tell her that least in the kingdom of heaven is slavery, is servanthood. It's not being great. When Christ called us to be great. And then it says, but whosoever shall do and teach them shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. And so you got to say to your mama that love Jesus, do you want us to be great in the kingdom? Or do you want us to be least in the kingdom? She's gonna say great in the kingdom. And the minute she says great in the kingdom, then you got to tell her, well, then we have to marry our own. And you have to teach to marry our own. And if all else fails and you can't break it down how I'm breaking it down, just have her watch this video. And you make sure you tell her that the love I have for you and your family is why I went into such great detail, so that your sister will not make the same mistake of hating God again.
Most High in Christ.
All right.
Most High in Christ. Thank you, Cap. Thank you. Cap, man. Thank you. Two things before I get off this phone. Cap, can I get the number to Las Vegas school? And then Cap, I ain't never made a donation ever. But Cap, can you put your Cash App in the stream?
Chat? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll put my cash. My moderators, they'll probably put my Cash App in there as well.
Wait, Cap, I just want to just get thank you, Cap. I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome, brother, man. Listen, like I always say, man, I like the fact that you reached out and wanted to get the question answered is why it was on me to make sure that I did it. So
thank you, Cap, man. I'm fighting the battle. Like I said, man, my mom, man, you know, it's indoctrinating. My mom is what, 60 years old. Cap, she pretty much, and then you know, my past too. She looking at my past like, you know, she ain't gonna believe everything that come out of my mouth. But
and you know what you got to tell her when it comes to your past? Go to in the Bible, right? I want you to go to this verse. It's in Ephesians. And hold on a second. I may have to shift this. I think I'm back now. Y'all let me know if I'm back. Is it hot right here? I'm just trying to see. Let me see. I'm waiting to see if I came back yet, if they see me now. All right.
I'm gonna use your word that I love so much. No sweat.
All right, so I'm gonna put it right here for now. Hey, to the Ebionite brother that keeps calling, I'm not taking your call today, man. I'm not taking your call today. Sorry. All right, so I moved my phone because I think I could feel my phone getting a little hot. So we cool. So now, where I left off at was in verse 21 when it says, I'm sorry, verse 23 when it says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. That's what you become. You got to tell your mind, why are you still worried about what I used to do? You worried about what I used to do when you should be applauding what I am now. And you got to say to your mother, how long did you not want me to be a gang member, drug dealer, fornicator? How long did you not want me to be that? And now when I'm not, and I'm coming to give you the truth of God, you want to fight me because now I'm obeying God and now you want to bring up my past?
Yeah. She don't really bring it up, but when I be trying to tell her, like, we should eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, and, she be like, what? She look at me like, that's the thing where she fights me at. Or when I say we shouldn't celebrate holidays and birthdays.
Of course.
That's where.
Of course.
Yeah, that's where.
And you got to tell her. You got to tell her. And that's why the verse that I gave you about Christ saying, whosoever break the least commandments and teach men so, that's why you got to give her that verse. Because you got to say, and she's going to know that you're not supposed to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster in the Old Testament. And then you got to read that verse, whosoever break the least commandment. And you got to ask her, do she love Jesus? She's going to say, yeah. Well, Jesus said, if you break the least commandment, you'll be the least. But if you keep the commandments, you'll be great. So should we be trying to be the least or should we be trying to be great? You got to ask her that.
Exactly. I am, Cap. I promise you. I wrote everything.
Definitely.
Everything down. I'm on it.
Let me give you the phone number. Let me give you the phone number.
Yes, sir.
All right. The phone number to call is 310 346
346
8206.
8206. Okay, no sweat.
And then they put my Cash App in the chat if you want to send a donation, brother.
Cap, I got a donation. I got something coming for you. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it, brother.
Okay, no sweat. I like no sweat.
Yeah, no sweat. All right, take it easy, brother. All right.
You too.
All right. Now I want to get these super chats in. I'm not taking Avia Knight's call. I don't. He gonna call and I don't know. Anyway, let me see if I can get to these chats. Hold up. Let me see. What's irritating me is that now normally I'm able to see that. No, let me go this route. Hold on, wait, let me see. Let me go to YouTube. Hold on, bear with me one second. I just want to get these super chats before the next call comes in. So bear with me 1 second. Go to my channel. Let me see if I can see it in here. All right. I want to get these super chats. There we go. Here we go. All right, so super chat. So shout out to Durant Charles, gave a $2 super chat. Shout out to Rob Quamani, listening to the Lily interview again, rolling. Excellent class last night. Yeah, that Lily interview was a good interview. For those that don't know, that Lily interview he's talking about, that's the interview with the white woman that used the term broke ass niggas. So that's that term. So that is a good interview. Robert Bryant asks, Cap, what's the difference between the doctrine of discovery and manifest destiny? And so what I did was, I actually have a PowerPoint on manifest destiny, and which includes the doctrine of discovery. So those that don't know what the doctrine of discovery, you're going to find out that doctrine of discovery, manifest destiny are the same exact thing. So when I did the class where I broke down manifest destiny is a mental disorder. Hey, Sai, hold on. Sai, you know I'm live, right?
No, I didn't know.
Okay.
All right. I'll call you back.
All right, no sweat. All right.
Call me when you get off the live.
All right, I will. All right. So now, when I did the manifest destiny should be in the DSM, that was the focus on America. The doctrine of discovery is where manifest destiny comes from. This is the doctrine of discovery. It says in 1455, Romanus Pontifex, and then again in 1493, Inter Caetera, the Pope, claiming dominion over the entire world, issued statements which gave European rulers the sanction to colonize all of the non-Christian world. Speaking as God's representatives on earth, the popes anointed these rulers and their representatives as sanctified conquerors of anything they discovered not already claimed by Christian rulers. The bulls gave Columbus, Cortez, it says the bulls gave Columbus, Cortez, Pizarro, Cook, and Hudson, and the rest both legal and moral license to do whatever they wanted to the peoples and lands they conquered, including dispossession, enslavement, and unaliving. They were granted. So manifest destiny and that are the exact same thing. There is absolutely no difference. That wasn't a ringtone that time, Bezos. That was a song. So my Spotify was playing the next song. That wasn't a ringtone that time. Let me get to the shout out to Dorian Pratt with the super chat donation. And if anybody want to give a super chat donation, my moderators have put the let me see if I can put this here. The moderators have put the super chat in there. So if you do want to donate, it's greatly appreciated. All right. Let me get back to the other super chat. It says, when Cain said they will kill me, who is the they? That is an excellent question. Because, so for those wondering what he's talking about, in Genesis, the 4th chapter, when Cain unalives Abel, God is kicking Cain out of where he's living at with his parents. And Cain says, this is more than I can bear. All they that see me will slay me. Shout out to GT Parker, said, I'd rather send it to UCAP. YouTube takes majority of the money. I think YouTube takes like 25% or something like that. So I do appreciate that. Cash App is like 2%. So I do appreciate that. So now, the they, to answer the question, the they are the other people. So Christianity teaches you that there's only Adam and Eve. That's what Christianity teaches you. Adam and Eve wasn't the only humans, as Robert Bryan said. In Genesis, the 1st chapter, you see mankind being created. Let me see if I do it like this. In Genesis, the 1st chapter, you see mankind. Yeah, that's better. You see mankind being created. That's what you see. On the 7th day is where you see Adam get the breath of life. The breath of life is the law. You can read Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, when it talks about the valley of the dry bones. The valley of the dry bones is the whole house of Israel, which are living people, but they do not have breath in them. And then Ezekiel breathes the... Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, it's just Praveen from New York. I have a question about Jarha, the Egyptian. Is he an Egyptian, or is he?
No, he's just called an Egyptian.
Oh, so he's actually an Israelite then.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that was confusion. That's why I thought he was from the other. Okay, I thought he was he was Egyptian. He wasn't actually. No, because I was just surprised because
that's like Caleb. That's like Caleb is called the Kenizzite.
Right.
That's hold on one second. Caller, hold on. That's like Caleb being called a Kenizzite, or Elijah being called a Tishbite.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
No problem. All right, before I bring the next caller. So they had no breath in them. And then Ezekiel breathed into them the breath of life, which is the law. And once he breathed into them the breath of life, they became alive. That's Adam coming to life. So when Cain, and here's how you know there was other people, because when Cain went to the land of Nod, he got a wife. So he goes to another land, which is called Nod, gets a wife, and then he builds a city. So that's how you know that there was other people, to answer the question. Good brother Charles, what's your question or comment?
Good morning, Cap. I had a comment, but I just wanted to speak about the Christian faith. On about how come Christians don't understand that there will be a hierarchy in the kingdom, and then how come they want to include everybody in it through the Bible verses that get misconstrued that they talk about. Because I watched a good video with your good brother God Logic, and he for some odd reason he tries to insert everybody. Now this goes from the first covenant to the second covenant. What makes him? I want to know what makes him include when the verses say what they say, so people can understand.
Do white Christians believe that everybody will be equal?
I mean, they don't think that now. They just use the Bible to try to say everybody's equal.
No, look, just answer it. Just answer it simply. Somebody called my phone. That's why the sound went out. So the sound should be on now. All right. The sound should be back. The sound, y'all let me know the sound should be back. There we go. So that's how you know white people did not believe that we're going to be the same in the kingdom. Only black people believe that because black people are slaves. That's why. Because black people are slaves, they can't fathom that we're not going to be equal, because all we've had in America is a life of servitude. That's all we have. And so when black Christians are preaching, they're preaching equality. White Christians don't preach equality. White Christians have never taught equality. So we teach that because we're slaves. We don't understand what power is. That's what that's about.
I got you. Mm-hmm. And then even about the hierarchy in the kingdom, what I want to know is how do they think that they're going to be on top of the hierarchy in the kingdom? Well, what the Bible says.
Because that's what replacement theology is. Replacement, if you ever look it up, replacement theology is where Christians teach that all nations have replaced the children of Israel as having access. That's the whole point. So when they read verses in the New Testament and it says Israel, they will teach you that that's talking about any nation. They're going to teach you that that's not talking about ethnic Israelites, but anybody. That's why they'll have the term spiritual Israelites. That's why they'll have that.
Mm-hmm. And I saw where he went to the stranger. This was my last comment. A stranger is like how you said before, just living in a land, a piece of land, but you're out of your own place.
Right, like right now, me teaching this class in Kansas, you know what I am in Kansas? A stranger. Because this is not where I'm from. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, live in East Orange. Now, when I go back to East Orange, I'm not a stranger in East Orange. I know the land, I know the people, I know where the stores is at, I know where everything is at. I come out here to Kansas, I don't know where everything is at. I got to learn it. I got to learn where the car, I got to learn where the gym. The first thing I do when I come to any city is I learn where the gym is at. That's the first thing I do. I look up the gym, look up the reviews, see which one has the best reviews. That's the gym I'm going to. Now, when I go back home, I ain't got to do that. I'm going right to Signature Fitness because that's my gym. So a stranger is anybody. And that's where people lose their mind because of Christianity, they think a stranger has to always be a non-Israelite. Whereas if I'm living in the land of Judah and I go to the land of Issachar, I am a stranger when I go to the land of Issachar. So that's the answer to the question.
Yeah, it's funny that Christians can try to change somebody's ethnicity from where they are. And it says in the Bible that everyone was scattered at one point.
Yep. No, what you mean? The Israel was scattered?
Yes.
Yeah, Israel was scattered. That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when it's like, wherever you at, then that makes you an Israelite. Or you get what I'm saying? Like they reverse from what the word's saying just because where you are placed. You could be an Israelite living anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they just go by the place so everybody's included. And that's what I want to say. It didn't make sense. The video that I saw about that guy.
No sweat.
He's something else. All right, Cat.
All right, no sweat, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, bro.
All right. Next caller, I believe it says 917 on my phone. 971-416.
Hey, what's up, Cap?
What's up, brother?
Hey, this is on the strangers. I got a question on Isaiah 56.
Isaiah 56?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Wait. Don't, before you get into it, hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on.
All right.
All right, you said Isaiah 56, right?
Yeah, the son of the stranger that joins himself to the
Yeah.
Lord.
What about it?
So typically, like, the reason why we say a stranger can be an Israelite
What's your name again?
is because
What's your name again?
Tazaryach.
You the guy from Seattle that calls? Are you the guy that I called a weird name before? Or not that guy?
I don't know, Cap. But I do. So, like, when we look up in the Hebrew, like, the reason why we say Israelites can be called strangers is because we'll go into the language and then we'll find a Hebrew word, what that word is.
That's not why we say it. That's why somebody like you say it. That's not why. Don't include me with your we. Because I don't. If you're the brother that I think you are, I'm probably gonna get you off my line in a second. But we don't teach the same. So I'm not your we.
All right. Well, the author chooses to write down certain words for a reason.
For context, it has nothing to do with what you're about to lie about. You're about to lie that you. That's not,
brother. You have to hear out the whole matter.
I don't have to hear shit. I really don't have to hear shit you say. I think you the guy called dickhead and you stayed on the phone the whole time. So I don't have to hear nothing you say.
Well, if you don't want to keep the commandments, that's fine.
I do keep the commandments. That's why I can call you a dickhead righteously. That's why I can call you a dummy, ignorant to the Bible righteously.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. And then like the typical dickhead, you're gonna stay on the phone.
Well, no.
See? Oh, okay, then hang up. Hang up then. Because I'm not I'm going to disrespect you. So if you stay on the phone, you like it. Like, what's that term? Sadomasochistic? I think it's sadomasochistic, where you get off on that type of torment. You want to talk to me that bad? You on my jock that bad? Then why you still on my phone?
But Jesus says turn the other cheek. So.
No, he didn't. No, not in this context. I'm not gonna stop. Like, I'm not gonna stop. Like, I'm just gonna make an example out of you, as I did the last time, to show your obsession with Israelites. Your obsession with Israelites is that you will tolerate being disrespected just to talk to me. You on my jock that bad that you'll let me disrespect. Look, you still want to talk to me.
You said
everybody pay attention. This is how bad. And I guarantee you he's mentally challenged. He's definitely mentally challenged because there's no the cure for it. Okay, no problem. The cure for your mental challenge, for your mental, is to go. Right. Here's what you should do. You should. Sometimes when brothers and sisters call me and I counsel them, I say they should go get a medical exam. So I think what you should do is go get a medical exam, and they have a questionnaire. When you go get the medical exam, they have what did they say?
Let's just say I have.
What did they say?
You know what, Captain?
What did they say when you went and did it? What did they say? What did they do? So again, what I think you should do instead of talking to me, you should go get that. Look at him. You should go. It's so sad that I don't have to talk to him. I don't understand for the life of me. I could understand calling into somebody's show one time. Like, for example, let me put the camera up big time for this one. For example, Angry Man, for example. Caller, hold on. For example, Angry Man unfollowed me. Why? Because he was in his feelings. You damn right I'm in my feelings. I'm in my feelings. I'm in my feelings. I'm in my feelings. I'm a crybaby. I'm a crybaby. I ain't following you no more. But at least he unfollowed me. At least he stopped communicating with me because he feel like, and I told Angry Man I was going to make a clip out of Angry Man. And he's in the bitch nigga university now. And, oh, Bezos, you didn't know. Yeah, Angry Man unfollowed me. Wait, okay, before I get into that, because let me get these calls first. The next caller, 951-435.
Yeah, shalom, Kat.
Hey, Shalom, you got a question or comment?
Yeah, so where you were talking about in Genesis, how the law,
The breath of life?
you know, like how you was talking about the law and stuff not too long ago.
Yeah, the breath of life you talk about with Adam?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah. What law are you referring to? Like which?
Oh, you can see.
Like, the
So
law
what?
of Moses?
So the law of Moses is the law of God. You can get
Okay.
that in I think it's Nehemiah. I'll try to find it for you, the verse where it says it just like that. I believe it's Nehemiah, either the 13th chapter or the 18th chapter. I'll try to find it for you, right? It's always been law. There's never been a time that there wasn't law. And so you can see that, is it Nehemiah? I think it's Nehemiah 8. As I'm talking to you, I'm trying to find the verse for you as well. So you'll see like the law of sacrifice, right? You got a lot of background. You got a lot of.
Sorry, no, I'm at work right now. I don't know if this is loud.
Yeah, well, okay, you might.
While you talking.
Yeah, that might help a little bit, right?
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, so this is Nehemiah 8:8. It says, so they read in the book, in the law of God distinctly, and gave sense and caused them to understand the reading. So whether you say law of Moses or you say law of God, it's all God's law. Okay? So now you'll see the law of sacrifice in Genesis. When Adam got Eve and it says he closed up the flesh thereof, that's the acknowledgement that you're only supposed to deal with your tribe. That's your flesh. That's why Adam said Eve was bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh. You can see the echo with in 2 Samuel 5:1, when the children of Israel come before David and said, behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. You can see the unaliving of Cain and Abel. That's why he got kicked out of the garden. So you can see examples of the law before Moses. The difference between before Moses and after Moses is that before Moses, it was more oral tradition of keeping the law. After Moses, there's a written down tradition. We became a governing body where if you broke the law, we could actually punish you for breaking the law. Before then, God would punish you for the breaking of the law. You can unmute now, brother.
Okay, so pretty much, so when people say like the law, I don't know if this is biblical, but I've heard it plenty of times where they say like the law is like written in your heart already.
Okay, the law written in your heart is talking about your mind. So it's not magic. Okay. So don't think of it like magic. It's more so like written in your mind or written in your heart means that, like, for example, I don't have to read don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster every day. I don't have to read don't deal with white women every day. It's in my mind. I don't have to read thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not serve any other. I don't have to read those things. It's in my mind. It's in my heart. So I just do these things instinctively as opposed to having to read it every day.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And so as far as fulfilling, I mean, not fulfilling, what was it? like multiply, be fruitful and multiply.
Mhm.
Is that a part of the law?
Now
as
that's
well, or-
that was a commandment to the earth, to mankind. Mankind was told to be fruitful and multiply.
Oh, okay. So it's not that was just like
Yeah, that's like
that
when
was
he was
just
creating.
order.
Yeah, when he was creating mankind, he told them that he not only did he tell them to be fruitful and multiply, he said subdue the earth. So man as a whole was told to be fruitful and multiply and go do those things.
Okay. And
this the last
so
question.
Also,
This the last question. I'm gonna take the next call.
Okay. All right.
No.
So
I'm saying you got one more. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. So pretty much, just to sum it all up, the same law that Moses had, that God gave to Moses, that was just a written down. He had it written down, but the law, that's the same law with Adam and Eve, but God gave that to Adam and Eve though personally, and it was like already within them,
right?
Like in their hearts, pretty much,
right.
Like it was a part of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, okay, I got it. All right, yeah,
and,
that's pretty much it.
And before, and I'll give you
that,
another example of how that translated.
Yeah.
So when Noah and them come out of the ark, when the reason Abraham left his father's house is because they were worshiping other gods, and Abraham knew we was only supposed to worship the Most High. So that was passed down generationally from Noah to Shem. It gets down to Abraham through his father. And so they all knew of the Most High. They just chose to worship other gods.
Okay. Yeah, that's deep, man. That's real deep, because now it's like that just shows how important those laws and commandments are.
Always. That's correct.
Yeah. And then, all right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Hey, no sweat, brother. All right.
All right.
No problem. Last caller is it says Jessica on my phone. I think it was.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, no sweat.
That's,
Go ahead, brother. What's your
I'm
question?
I'm not a woman though.
I know, because I remember you calling before. It just didn't show your number, so I just had to say it like that. But what's your question or comment?
Yeah, question is, and kind of a bit of a comment, just two things. I have a friend of mine, and she kind of was worried about dealing with God, and how, in the Bible it says that thou shalt not kill. That's a very important Torah commandment in the scriptures. And she was bringing up the fact that she felt as though the God in the Bible was contradictory, saying that, even to the point of, I guess it was Judges chapter 5. I don't know if it was Judges 5 or one of those Old Testament scriptures in Judges, I think. But it was telling the tribe of Judah to go in and unalive everything that was there. I think it was Amalek. Unalive the children, the old women, the young men.
That's in Samuel.
Oh, Samuel 5?
Mm. Yeah, that's
okay.
Samuel told King Saul to go and destroy it. You talking to me?
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's Samuel 5, but the story you're talking about Amalek, that's the Lord told King Saul, it's 15:3, when the Lord told King Saul to go and smite Amalek. That's what God told him to do. And so your woman, you said your woman?
This is a friend of mine. No,
okay, no problem. Said that God is contradictory.
Yeah, she was just trying to understand, and she was really emotional about it. That's one of the reasons why I said, anyway. But she was saying that she don't understand how God can tell any person to unalive, especially a child, because it said, I think in the text it says the suckling baby, which is a newborn baby, and
that bothered her, right?
Yeah, it bothered me too. The way that she was putting it to me.
You say it bothered
you
too? Should be back now. Okay, it should be back now. Should be back now. Okay, it should be back now. I think it should be back now. All right, so a woman.
Let me ask the question one more time and just make it clear, so it's not a direct question. Is How do you justify the God of the Bible executing babies when the commandment is not to kill?
Yeah, I got you. So now what I first wanted to say, everyone should be bothered when they hear any woman hearing that a suckling baby is going to be destroyed. It should bother you. I mean, a woman would have to be like a savage to not
Right.
feel some type of compassion for that. So
a man too. Now, 'cause that's your son or daughter.
no. You should feel that if it's your son and daughter, that's correct. But if you're getting vengeance because of what was done to your son and daughter, you're not going to feel that kind of way. And that's what's happening to Amalek. So she may not know the story of Amalek. And actually, you can actually read this story, I believe, in the very chapter.
Yeah, we read through the whole story. She was mind-boggled at that. So we had to just go back and read it verse by verse.
So if y'all read it, then you will read verse 2 when it says, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. So do you know what Amalek did to the children of Israel? I'm asking.
Yeah, when they were coming to Egypt from the wilderness.
What did they do?
Yeah.
What did they do?
They laid wait.
They destroyed Israelites, right?
Yeah, that's the history in the text, yeah.
Yeah, so is the vengeance that Amalek, that the God is having Israel bring about the vengeance against Amalek for what they did to the children of Israel. So Amalek is not innocent. Nobody is innocent. Does God punish Israel if they disobey?
So she was saying that
answer my question.
What was your question? I'm sorry.
Does God punish Israel if they disobey?
Does God punish Israel in the Bible? Yeah, he shows punishment towards Israel, yeah, in the scriptures, yeah.
Okay, so does he have a right to punish any nation if they disobey?
Does he have a right to punish any nation?
Yeah.
I guess you would assume so. If you sticking with that.
This my problem. This my problem with this. Be quiet for a second, because this is my problem. Yeah, no problem saying yes. He punishes Israel. You don't have to be rude and interrupt when I'm talking. I wouldn't have to say be quiet. It works both ways. Thank you. So now, you had no problem saying God can punish Israel, but with the other nations, you said I guess so. That's the problem. You say you're interrupting again? You say you're interrupting again?
I'm trying you're messing up what I'm saying.
I'm not messing up nothing that you're saying. I'm helping you. What I'm trying to do is help you understand that it's not, the law says thou shalt not kill. That means you can't do any unjust killing. So if you was to unalive me and I did nothing to you, that is what is against the law. If I come, do you harm, then you have every right to defend yourself. If the Most High decides to bring about vengeance against me for what I did to you, that is not breaking the commandments. You ever heard of the Lord's Passover? You ever heard of No. See, nigga, every time I ask you a question, you try to skip, because I'm about to tell you why you're a nigga. Because every time I go to ask you a question, you don't want to answer. It's disrespectful to every time. I want you to go back and listen to this live stream. And every time I go to ask you a question, I have to force you to answer my question. Instead of you just answer. I just asked you, have you ever heard of the Lord's Passover? I don't have to entertain that. When you go back and listen to it, you'll see every time I go to ask you a question, you don't want to answer my question. Yes, I hung up on you because I will not tolerate somebody that is, I'm answering their question and I go to ask you a question. Every time I've asked you a question, you try to skip over my question.
All right, so yeah, I know.
No, I don't need to fucking answer my question. Have you heard of the Lord's Passover?
Yeah, I heard of it.
What is it about? What
when
is
the
it?
children,
What it?
when the firstborn was slaughtered by the death angel.
So
right?
was that right or wrong?
Wrong.
No problem, brother. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. Do you follow the Bible?
I follow my highest light to my
Do
highest
you
ability.
follow? I didn't ask you about your fucking highest light. I asked you if you follow the Bible. If you follow your highest light, then you don't
What you
follow
said.
the Bible. I definitely am. Do you follow the Bible? Yes or no?
No.
Thank you. And that's why you can't understand what vengeance is. Passover is not the firstborn Egyptians dying for something they didn't do. It's about them dying because did they kill the Israelite children? Yes or no?
In the Bible.
What? Why would you say in the Bible? Yes. Where else would it be except in the Bible? Like, you cannot be this dumb.
I'm not dumb. I'm saying.
Okay, then why would you say in the Bible? Yes, when we're talking about the Bible. So if the Egyptians were unaliving the firstborn of that all the males, are you saying that the Israelites don't have the right to get vengeance?
I'm saying no innocent child should be murdered.
Are you saying? I'm asking a simple fucking question. Are you saying? No, you did not. I asked you, did they have the right to get vengeance?
No.
Okay, no problem. You have a good day. And that's slaves. That's slaves. If you ever want to understand slavery, that's slavery. That man does not understand. Him and his bitch crying, and I'm saying bitch, him and his bitch is crying because they're reading the Bible about the God of the children of Israel allowing them to go get vengeance against a nation that was unaliving their people. And he's saying that it's wrong for them to get unalived. Cat be on this gangster shit. That's crazy. But I want to get into this story before I go because I am at my point. God damn it. I don't know why this goddamn Spotify keep playing. So, hey, caller, you didn't just hear me say I'm trying to end the show? You better have a very, very, very important question to ask. What's your question?
Brother, peace and blessing. Peace and blessing, brother. Peace and blessing.
What's your question, brother?
I'm listening to you, right? I'm about to say something. Ephesians 4:29, right? Talks about profanity and perverse language.
Can I read Ephesians? Can I read Ephesians? Dude, I'm gonna talk to you the same way. Can I read Ephesians 4?
I'm not finished yet.
I didn't give a fuck if you was finished or not. Can I read Ephesians 4:29? Thank you. Appreciate it. Nigga hung up the phone. Let's read Ephesians 4:29. It says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." Thank you, brother, for bringing me to this verse. What I would like to do is take this verse and pair it with 2 Corinthians 11:6 when it says, "Though I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge." King Black said people are soft. So it's not corrupt to check this man for not understanding that God was right to bring about the Passover. It's actually corrupt communication to say that God was wrong for taking vengeance against the Egyptians. That's corrupt communication. Because if you say God is wrong for taking vengeance, if you say God is wrong for telling King Saul to destroy all of Amalek, then what you're saying is that God is wrong. How it can't get no more corrupt communication than that. That's what corrupt communication is. Saying that God is wrong for taking vengeance is corrupt communication. Who art thou to reply against God. Ain't that what? Listen, let me read it. This is Romans, the 9th chapter. This is why y'all are in the bitch nigga university. This is Romans, the 9th chapter. Let me see what verses say. This is Romans 9:19. It says, thou wilt say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? This is after, let me start at verse 17. It says, for the scriptures saith, matter of fact, let me start at verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, boy. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Thou wilt say unto them, is there unrighteousness with God? That is corrupt communication. That is the epitome of corrupt communication. When we read that God hates Esau, I don't agree with that. The caller said he disagrees with God taking vengeance against the Egyptians. That's corrupt communication because the Bible don't say that. And then it says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? For he saith unto Moses, I will have mercy unto whom I will have mercy, and compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not the will of him, it's not of him that willeth, nor of runneth. So your will may be for God to not hate Esau. Your will may be for God not to punish the Egyptians. You may run to convince me with your communication how God is wrong for it. You don't hang up on me. Listen, don't hang up on me and then try to call back and now you want to talk to me. Now the nigga want to talk. Now the nigga want to talk to me. Let's see what he got to say. What you got to say?
Nah, man, I'm driving. The phone hung up, man. Relax.
No, you relax. Because you didn't want me to read the verse. You relax.
No, the phone.
You relax. Hey, keep driving. So now, corrupt communication is saying anything against what God said. That's corrupt communication. It is not corrupt communication to enforce what God said. It is not corrupt communication to call somebody a bitch ass nigga for denying what God said. That's why Paul said, though I be rude in speech, not in knowledge, because what knowledge is we talking about? The knowledge that we talking about was God. I don't know why, Angela, please stop calling me. What we're talking about is God wrong for oh my God, what the hell is up with this Spotify today? Let me do that. Let me do this. This is what I'm gonna do for this audio because this is irritating my soul right now. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna go to Sirius and we're gonna turn the volume. There we go. We ain't gotta hear that shit no more. It can only be corrupt if you go against what God said. If you go against what God said, that's corrupt. What's other examples of corrupt communication? Saying God loves everybody. Saying you can marry who you want to marry. To be against the law, statutes, and commandments. That's Trip to go said phone's going crazy. The phone is going absolutely crazy right now. It's diabolical. So I don't understand. So now in Romans 9:20, it says, nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against God? And that's what that bitch ass caller with the corrupt communication and the dude with his crazy bitch call with the other corrupt communication. And I could say that because they ain't his woman, that's a friend. So his bitch friend, his girl, bitch friend, whatever it was, they have corrupt communication. And then when you get down to it, he don't even believe in the Bible. So a man that don't believe in the Bible with a woman that don't believe in the Bible is crying over what they believe or what they're reading in the Bible. Listen, man, I'm about to go get bigger, about to go do my shoulders. Today is shoulder day. Oh, Angry Man. Oh, Bezos, let me show you. Yeah, Angry Man unfollowed me, man. He got mad. I'm assuming he got in his panties about me telling him. I told him I was going to make a clip out of him, and I guess he got mad about it. So, until next time, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shema Shabrakatham. Yahweh Shema Thum Bashem Yahushai. What I said was the Lord in the name of Jesus bless you to the brothers. The Lord watch over you in the name of Jesus to the sisters. Shalom Israel. Oh, wait. Before I go, let me get the super chats before I go, because I think some new super chats came in. Let me get the super chats. Hold up. Let me come over here. Let me see. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see if I can see the super chat comments, because some new super chats came in. Oh, here we go. Got it. All right. So shout out to Yasha Allah, Asa, Israel, Cap. The U.S. military do it all the time about vengeance. So what is his problem? His problem, and this is everybody's problem. In Jeremiah 2:14, it says, is Israel a servant? Is Israel a homeborn slave? And homeborn slaves can never fathom what true vengeance is. They can only fathom whatever their master says vengeance is. So if their master says vengeance is this, that's what vengeance is. If their master says forgiveness is this, that's what forgiveness is. So it's always going to be an issue for people to read in the Bible, God telling the children of Israel to get vengeance for what happened to them. I'm going to end with this scripture. This is what the Bible says. I'm going to end with this scripture. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 5. I'm going to read verse 5 to 9. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all the saints. Praise ye the Lord. Shalom, Israel. Shout out to Truth Seeker. Fuck you. That's not a cuss word. Fuck is not a cuss word. Fuck, bitch, damn, ass. Those are not cuss words, biblically speaking. Cuss words is to bring out a damnation. That's cussing. You can say foul language, but foul language is also subjective. Call somebody a dog, and depending on the context, they're going to be offended. So language is foul based on context. It's not foul by just the word.